Hello guys, and welcome to the channel. It's Marve, and this is readings by Marvelous Madame Tarot. Guys, you have already been seeing the astrology world shaken up by this huge full moon in Aquarius that's going to be taking place on August 11, 2022 at 9:35 p.m. Eastern, which is going to be 19 degrees of Aquarius. Now, I am going to be doing the intro in audio form. So by the time you get this, it will be a split commentary type of video. It was too much to sit in front of a camera and actually explain all of this. So if you're interested in listening to the audio version of this, thank you so much. I am going to go online live. Well, that's what I meant to say, guys, and give you the actual video portion of this and explain and break down those cards. And I'm going to ask that you understand what these cards mean before you actually get into the listening to the reading. So let's kind of go ahead and get into a little bit of this. The August full moon of 2022 is in Aquarius, and it is a reminder that the saying goes, if we do the same things over and over again, we can expect the same results. So it is also true that if we do something out of the ordinary that breaks us out of that status quo, we make room for the universe to surprise us with something that's different and possibly even extraordinary if we're lucky. This particular full moon, guys, is all about shaking up the universe, and it does not matter, in my, humble opinion, as I market myself as a novice astrologer. It does not matter, back to my point, who you are and where your placements are in your chart. Everybody's going to feel this shift, some shape, way, form, or fashion. Shake up the universe is the invitation of the intense and action-packed full moon in Aquarius. Guys, Aquarius is ruled by Uranus. Uranus is the planet of shakeups, sudden events, so forth and so on. So drama will be afoot. Of course, it is just as you expect from a full moon during Leo season, of course. This one falls within a touching distance of the Lion's Gate portal that's opening, guys. And the Lion's Gate portal opening obviously happens on 8/8 every single year. So it is a hugely important astrological phenomenon, which offers a chance to manifest more abundance than you ever could. All right. So this is going to be something that I upload for you guys tomorrow on 8/8. So I'm going to be giving you the 8/8 energy and sending you good vibes from this 8/8 Lionsgate portal as well. All right. I'm going to ask that if you are available, that you set intentions tomorrow in this Lionsgate portal opening. All right. And I will talk a little bit about that at another time. Now, in addition, the lunation comes after this July new moon that we had in 2022, which you guys already knew, that particular new moon obviously was in Leo, and it called for every one of us to let our inner light shine. That already took place. That took place on July 28th. 2022 at 1:54 p.m. Eastern time. Okay. I wanted to let you know that I am used to doing full moon pulls and new moon pulls, but it has been a hell of a 6 months, even actually taking it all the way back to a year. Okay. So I want to get back to that. My intention has always been to bring you guys the astrology that I knew was going to cause a really, really bad shakeup, but it's going to happen and touch each and every one of us in some shape, way, form, or fashion. So let's keep going. So what I want to say is after that new moon in Leo, it could have fared well with some of you guys. However, with only one planet in the water sign and all the rest in the air, fire, and earth signs at this time, we should expect intense mindset shifts dramatic action, and some foundation underneath us rattling, guys, as these planetary energies combine on this fateful day. Okay. And again, that is going to be August 11th at 9:35 p.m. and 19 degrees of the water bearer, which is the nickname for Aquarius. All right. Fate is indeed a key word for this full moon, as major planetary players of this full moon mirror, guys, these seismic eclipses that we experienced back in November of 2021, as well as April and May of 2022. That's why I said it's been hell. So you guys should think back to the time periods, and if you experienced any major shifts, either new beginnings or final endings, this moon could bring those same plot lines, themes, and possibly even cameo appearances from those previous eclipses that we had. Okay. So whatever was going on in November of 2021, I remember specifically whatever took place in April of May of this year, although we did have a lot of forward motion. Whatever you experienced could be obviously making its way back around to you. All right. So the ruler of the August, obviously full moon 2022 is a sobering and somber Saturn in Aquarius, who is receiving a conjunction from the moon and an opposition from the attention grabbing Leo sun, okay, or sun and Leo, both squaring wild cards in Uranus and resource oriented Taurus. So this is what's happening. All right. It's interesting that this is happening in these particular, Saturn and Aquarius is what's going on right now. It's making a conjunction from the moon, but in opposition to the sun. And the square is taking place while Uranus is in Taurus. Uranus is, I'm telling you that this is a planet, and it's one thing to be the ruler of Aquarius. We know what it does in that air sign. But when Uranus is in Taurus, it can get a little sticky. Okay. So all this means is that the full moon peaks. When it peaks, or as it peaks, we could experience an intense sense of letting go, a heavy weight or burden, or rattled when support system that we previously relied on is no longer readily available to us. So we need to either let go of something, or our support system and or foundation is going to be rattled. We can feel alone in the spotlight, but we can also experience this with a sense of relief for some of us. What is done is done. Now the only way forward is to focus on breathing through whatever this astrology and where it's going to be hitting for you, and try to move forward as best you can. I would advise, guys, that if I have taught you how to release in the full moon, that this is also an opportunity for you to do that if you know how. I believe that I've taught some of you, and if you, by the time you get this video, you feel as if you want a refresher course, or for me to tell you how to do that, I am going to be dropping a informational video on the website, or I can let you know. readings@marvelousmadam.com is the email, and www.marvelousmadam.com is the website. Let's keep going. So as the Aquarius moon shifts the collective consciousness toward community and collaboration, remember that as the stargazers that we are, we will have a cosmic clue from the stars themselves about their highest hopes for us, for what their highest hopes for us are. When they say that we can envision a world where people come together to their ideas, technology, and resources to individually improve the personal lives of as many people as we can. That is definitely an Aquarius moon. That is definitely an Aquarius way of thinking, a water bearer way of looking at things. Okay. So I am going to go into each one of the forecasts. I am going to be reading where it could affect you. And I am also in the video portion of this, to that I am going to be pulling a card for you. The cards are already pulled for each one of you, as I have went ahead and set with each one of your energies. But I'm going to go ahead and read how the full moon is going to be affecting you right now, if you're interested in listening to that. Okay, so for Aries, Sun, and rising, guys, I want you to understand that anything that's going on in the sky is probably going to be more accurate for you, first and foremost, from a rising perspective than a sun perspective. Okay. Yes, moons apply, and yes, the moon will apply, sun, but the moon is, it probably talks about your passion in this area more so than it affecting you accurately, but it is always, it may be less accurate, but I don't want to steer you away from listening if you do have a sun, a moon, or a rising. Okay, let's get into Aries and Aries rising. If there has been conflict brewing within your social circle or bubbling between coworkers, this full moon will mark the boiling point for you. It may sound intense, but after this moment passes, temperatures should begin cooling down considerably. Remember that Aquarius energy will activate your 11th house, Aries, of groups. And as the independent person you are, you can bristle when confronted with conformity or having to deal with conflict, especially if it's not yours, but you feel compelled to participate in it anyway. So use the light of the full moon to reconcile what group dynamics you're a part of that you no longer feel supported, or you no longer feel supportive of your biggest hopes and aspirations. Okay, now it's time to cut off feelings of restriction and expand your network to include people that you see in your inner light and allow it time to shine. All right, so it's going to be hitting you in your 11th house. When I go into the video portion of this particular reading, I will only I will refer you back here, and I will only reference the 11th house. That's it, Aries. I won't go into more depth than that, other than possibly letting you know what the 11th house rules. Okay. Now we move on to Taurus suns and Taurus risings. A work situation is reaching a critical point, and there is no turning back now. The dramatic full moon in your 10th house of career could see the departure of a support system that you previously relied on, but also one where that may have felt overly restrictive or domineering in the first place. So while it could easily be a boss, it could also suggest team structures or organizational charts are shifting and rebalancing at this time, which is going to probably leave you left to consider how you want to move forward. The question to ask yourself during this full moon is, now that the obstacle has been removed, do you feel any sense of relief despite any feelings of uncertainty that may loom ahead of you, Taurus? So pay close attention to your feelings, okay, as they are offering you cosmic clues about where your heart truly lies, and if it isn't time for you to command your own authority. All right, we move on to Gemini and Gemini rising. Gemini, you can do whatever you set your sights on. You just have to believe in something or someone. This full moon is going to be activating your 9th house of higher learning, and it is hoping that someone whom you choose to believe in is yourself. Okay, your self-confidence may have been a little rattled recently, and you may have found yourself questioning any previously held convictions and whether they're still spiritually based, or political. So you're being guided to add this dynamic to your innate curiosity as a Gemini. And you may have been feeling like you have more questions than you'll ever get the clear answers to. But the secret in this full moon that is attempting to share with you, Gemini Collective, is that having more questions is the true path to wisdom. It sounds lofty, but that's because it is, all right? Because you are being guided to let go of needing to know everything. And I also have told Leos that before, and allow yourself to sit with that uncertainty. Because when you sit in your uncertainty, Gemini Collective, that is when the answers will come to you. Okay. All right. We move on to Cancer and Cancer rising. This is affecting myself as a Cancer sun. And I'm telling you guys, it is the truth. Now it is time to set free of any debts or obligations you owe others, or allow yourself to move forward without waiting for permission or validation from someone else. With this potent full moon, Cancer Collective is taking place in our 8th house of karmic debts. This is often a time when people reappear. Here we go. So sometimes it's because you owe them a favor and they are cashing that in. Other times it could be because the person owes you something. So think about this, Cancer Collective, a thank you, an apology, an explanation, and the astrology will be in the sky, guys, and in the stars, and aligned up for them to finally give you what you need. I know as a Cancer, there are some people that is on my shit list. I am not going to lie about that. Working with energy every single day. Unfortunately, my personal life can take a hit. If you are that Cancer that you poured your all into something, people, places, or things, now it's time to, this Aquarius full moon is going to bring that to light. And this is a time when those people, places, or things are going to reappear. I'm telling you that right now. Okay. So, again, it could mean a thank you, an apology, or an explanation. The astrology is going to support this. You're being guided, or we're being guided, to be open to what we receive during this time, because those messages often have a way of being subliminal or unexpected in nature. We're being guided to also be aware of the energy that we are giving off. Okay, that we are giving off during this time, because we don't want to create more karma between me or us and the other people, places, or things when this energy is here for us to clear it. I'm telling you right now, Cancer, this one speaks true, near and dear to my heart. It's going to piss you off. I am asking you guys, and I am going to promise you as well, that we breathe through it and allow people to allow us to give us those apologies, explanations. Just breathe through it, accept it, and do not try to even the score. We can be vindictive like every other zodiac sign. And as a Cancer, when we have given out, we will block it coming back because we are mad. I am asking you guys collectively, let's try collectively to allow these thank yous, apologies, and explanations to come in, because we deserve it. Okay? All right. Moving on to Leo and Leo rising. Relationships are supposed to be about love, fun, and all of the good stuff. So why have they been feeling so serious lately? Well, you can certainly thank Saturn and Aquarius in your 7th house of partnership for that. And I feel sorry for you, Leos, because Saturn in Aquarius is in my 5th house. So we are rocking in the same boat as a Cancer sun, or a Libra rising that I am. So I really understand your plight. However, Leo Collective, now that this full moon is coming along, it's going to add a huge spotlight on these intimate relationships. So what do you see under the light of this full moon? Consider if the relationship others are watching isn't in fact the social media highlight reel. Is being in your relationship more isolating or lonely than you might let on? You don't owe any explanations to anybody, but you do owe those explanations to yourself. So this full moon in Aquarius is asking you to address a relationship dynamic that is no longer working for you or the two of you. The potential change is present, but so is an opportunity for growth. The stars want you to address these and acknowledge and release what no longer serves you in this relationship dynamic or in your relationship dynamics. Okay. Now, I also want to let you know that the seventh house is not just about romantic relationships. So this is going to be any person, although it may be highlighting relationships, but it's not just romantic. So that also goes for some of you guys for work. What the hell is going on at work? There's been this Leo dynamic at work. I've been checking on all my Leo clients, my Leo and my Leo relatives, because there's going to be some things going down in the work area as well. So check those relationships, guys, not just of the romantic variety. We move on to Virgo and Virgo rising. Well, Virgo, you are Mercury ruled, of course, and you rely on the organizational systems, even if they make no sense to you. Let me rephrase, even if they make no sense to anyone but you. And you can enjoy the certainty or certain daily routines to maintain a sense of order and control. But as a mutable sign, you also crave change and variety. And that's why a lot of you guys, I've always called you guys lovingly and affectionately the fake earth signs. Don't take that offensively, because you are so earthy, but at the same time, you want to switch it up, which completely contradicts the stability and the rituals that you rely on to even maintain the sense of order and control in the first place. Okay. However, this full moon is hitting you in your sixth house, and that is a house that is comfortable for you. So I find that sometimes when the moon hits you in a house that you may think may be comfortable, it actually is going to make you uncomfortable, because although you may be used to these routines and things in your own house, it's still going to break up the monotony. It's time to break up that, or break free of those systems that you put in place that could be dragging you down instead of lifting you up. This full moon is coming, and because it's happening in that sixth house, Virgo collective, it is begging you to try something new. Remember that if something disrupts your equilibrium, you can always choose. You can choose to see it as empowering. Is the routine more a burden than a comfort? This is the time to be innovative and creative about how you structure your day and do things that you relied on. It doesn't have to look like everybody else's, and it doesn't even have to look like your old one. You're being guided to experiment with living a little more instead of being so rigid in those organizational systems and daily routines and rituals. Now, Virgo, I will let you know, as a Cap Moon, obviously in double Taurus and my Venus and my Mars, I have to have structure. I have to have structure emotionally, and I have as well. And I have learned that sometimes there is no way to structure emotionally. So obviously, because, you know, Capricorns can tend to love like a boardroom, and we know that there is no room for that. And sometimes you tend to put, you struggle from the exact same thing collectively. I already know that. And you're being guided just like I have to be guided every single day to find a way to find a better way other than the way that that's comfortable for me, basically. And that's my advice to you. All right. We move on to Libra and Libra rising. Hello, collective. How are you? All right. So we are in the middle of a hot person summer, and you may be feeling a little less willing to put yourself out there. Libra collective, I already know. I just got through telling a couple of zodiac signs ago that Saturn is in our fifth house of fun, romance, and creativity. We all feel stifled and inhibited and shyer than usual. That's normally like not us. I'm not going to necessarily say I feel shy, but I'm just not in the mood. Like, it feels like a drag. Libra, we pride ourselves on being creative, and now that Saturn has been in this damn fifth house so long, let me say, and I did not mean to yell that, but so damn long, I'm over it. You know that we are known as the flirty social signs, but the good news of this full moon is that we can finally let the feelings of insecurity go because we have reached that critical release point. I'm telling you, I'm over it. I know I'm over it. And this cycle, we have reached that critical release point of this cycle, and we've been here since late 2020. You are not lying. Okay. I know that this is not a lie. While we've certainly had delays and setbacks, definitely in the love life, sense of fun for some of us or creative projects for others of us, especially me, the stars are now aligning to empower to move forward in a clear direction, collective, and knowing that you're never too much. And that's knowing that you're never too much of something or not enough of anything else. What you have to offer, no one else can. And we need to remember that one more time. Knowing that you're never too much of something or not enough of anything. Okay. That's understanding both of those ends of the scale. That's our balance. Collective, what you have to offer, no one else can. And I am being guided as a Libra rising to ingrain you guys, ingrain in your head that you need to remember that. Okay. Remember that. All right. We move on to Scorpio and Scorpio rising. Scorpio. All right. So you got a lot going on. Of course, first and foremost, you're going through hell because you got a lot. The karmic node is in your damn sign. So I want to, first of all, say a very heartfelt I'm sorry to you, but we all get our turn. Life at home may have presented more challenges for you recently. Perhaps your support systems like your parents, partner, or anyone else that you've relied on has been less available to you for help, and in fact, more reliant on you. So in some shape, way, form, or fashion, the shit shifted. Excuse my language. Increasingly, you could have been dealing with frustrations and feelings of isolation or having to do it all alone despite being surrounded by a group of people. This full moon is hitting you in your fourth house of home and family. I'm telling you right now, when a full moon happens at home, shit shifts and things change. People leave. You get to a point, and just like I was explaining a couple of zodiac signs ago, it's the critical point. Done. Dan, do. Stick a fork in me. We're done. I have a little bit of this in my first house, a little touch of Pluto in the first, although I'm a Libra rising. And I'm telling you that the way it is affecting me on secondary, as a secondary aspect, okay, or transit, I'm ready to go. I've outgrown my space. And when I tell you that I've outgrown my space, I need a bigger space to create. I can no longer create in the space that I am in. Okay. So I know that there are going to be some major changes, guys. I finally found a place that I love, and I am looking forward to the next 4 months of getting the hell out of this location and going there. But back to you. So some of you guys could be experiencing it in that way. But with this full moon in your fourth house of home and family, you are going to be soon experiencing a sense of relief and ease from the tension. Note, though, that the relief may come after a change takes place. Like I told you guys, it could involve changing houses or structural changes within your family unit. But when the dust settles, you'll end up feeling freer than you've ever have been before. And you will be able to live more authentic to how you envision living in your home. And because I've got Saturn in my fifth house, and I've had Saturn in my fifth house for a while, a large part of my creativity and being able to work for you guys as a Libra rising as well is all about environment and harmony. And when I have outgrown a place or a space or a thing, I have to leave it. It does not matter to me at that point, but all of you guys that are Scorpio suns and risings do not have my placements. You don't got my blend. You have your own personal blend. So I'm telling you that somebody's leaving, and I apologize in advance. This does mean that someone may be passing on with that karmic south node in your sign. You guys may have already experienced accidents, hospitals, and things of that nature for your family members or for yourself. I am going to send loving energy your way and hope that this is that this full moon in Aquarius in your 4th house provides you a soft place to land. Remember, once the dust sets and the dust settles, okay, you will end up being freer and you will be able to live the way you want. And Scorpio, that's obviously the goal. So I do know it really quickly, Scorpio that is in a relationship. He is not happy with his partner. They're already having conversations about selling the house and moving. So for some of you guys, that may not be what you want to do, but I promise you, once you decide to do it, it's done. And you will feel like a boulder has been lifted from you. Okay. We move on to Sagittarius and Sagittarius risings. So you've never been Sag, known to mince your words, but recent events that you've been going through in your house have had you questioning yourself. You never gave a hell before, whether you put your foot in your mouth. When you speak your mind, you let it be known, good, bad, or indifferent. But now you may have been questioning yourself lately. This full moon is happening in your 3rd house of communication, and you may have found that you've been a little bit more inhibited than usual, which is extremely uncomfortable for you. Or when you speak your mind, your intentions have been misinterpreted. And what I'm gonna say is that you don't need the whole damn picture to be an expert. You don't need a whole training course. Listen, you can look at something and snap your fingers and you know it. You never gave 3 of them about how you came off. But depending on what your blend is, now you're starting to shush a little bit more or watch what you say. Because now you're seeing your misinterpreted intentions and how they're affecting people. You're left feeling confused, annoyed, and frustrated. And this full moon is about to magnify this, guys. So you can finally learn to release the expectations that you have on yourself and others around this concern. You don't have to get it right on the first try, Sagittarius. You don't have to even get it right on the second one either. You're being guided to make your needs known and your voice is heard. And when you make your needs known and your voice is being heard, that's an ongoing process. Okay. One thing that is in a constant state of fine tuning is to precision. So keep talking. Keep trying to get it right. Keep striving to get it right, because the more you do, the more you'll figure out not only what you say, what you want to say, but how you actually feel. Now, remember, if you are a Sag sun or a Sag rising, it really doesn't matter. Just remember that Sagittarius falls and is in detriment. Now, depending on what type of astrology you follow, I believe Western astrology, Western tropical will have you double dipping. But then I also have seen some, and I'm not going to get into all of them. I've seen it where in one part of astrology, you will be in detriment and Pisces falls. I've also seen that, and that's in Mercury. That's in Mercury, by the way. And this full moon is happening in the 3rd house of communication. And that's where you fall. That's the point. That's where you are in detriment. That's where you fall. So in other astrology, you are in detriment and Pisces falls, or both of you guys fall and is in detriment. Either way, the communication, if you have Sagittarius in your Mercury, it definitely is not comfortable. That's the point. So this full moon is going to magnify that. And you're being guided to release, adjust, or acknowledge anything and let it go if it no longer serves you. We move on to Capricorn and Capricorn risings and a little bit of the moon, which is myself. Your mind has been on your money, Capricorn. That's for sure. I should have dropped it for us guys. Along with the feeling that soon as you have some, it's not being spent on anything that you like or save for something that you want. Lord knows that is the truth. Instead, it feels like debts and other financial obligations have been cropping up repeatedly, especially if you have children. Can the church say amen? Okay, that is the truth. Unfortunately, this full moon is going to be hitting us collectively in the second house of income. And resources is asking you to let go of this idea that your bank balance defines you. Capricorn, oh my God, I want to cry. You guys know darn well that money sitting in that bank, and the fact that we have accomplished it is the best feeling in the world for us, and it somehow provides a false sense of security. We keep it real over here, Caps. You know that. So I've had to go through this myself many, many, many times. Financially, with me having Scorpio in the second house, God, when I tell you ups and downs, I don't like it. But it does not matter where your Capricorn is, because right now, at the end of the day, if you are sun, moon, or rising, you're going to be affected in some way, shape, form, or fashion by this full moon touching a little bit of that second house of income. And we are being guided collectively to let go of the idea that the bank balance defines us, and it does not. It's asking us guys to release any sacrecy mindsets that we have about financial lack, when it could certainly come up. Saturn has parked in this house. Saturn is right there. It's a reminder that we are more resourceful than we give ourselves credit for, and we have more support systems in place that we may realize. Repeating an abundance mantra will provide an extra dose of confidence. In addition to that, you can Google abundance mantras. I'm going to just give you a little bit of a tip before I move on. I've had to rely on my support system, and as a Capricorn moon, I have always relied on myself. Okay, so I know that you guys are going through the same thing. My heart goes out to you because I know what those bank balances do. And let's drop a ha 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 in there. For some Capricorns, you'll log on and look at that money every single day. Stop it. I'm going to tell you, I'm guilty of the exact same thing. Looking at bank balances, looking at the savings, and every single time there is any expense that takes away from that, I do feel like a second-class citizen, and I cannot allow myself to succumb to that sacrecy mentality, because what I have, not only do I have support systems, but I need to remind myself constantly that balance doesn't define who I am. I'm the one that put it there. So I don't know whether that helped you, but just remember that it will leave and it will come back. I find that the more, as a Capricorn, and we struggle with this, the more we hold on to it, the more we block our blessings of it returning to us. So you have to change the way you look at it. And trust me, I have to do my abundance mantras, and I have to talk to myself on a daily. I've had nothing but unexpected things. It has taken a toll on me mentally. It has taken a toll on my creativity, because I got Saturn in the 5th house as a Libra rising, so forth and so on. And I don't like that, because I'm naturally creative and I'm naturally good at saving. So all I'm going to say to you collectively, guys, is if you're having an issue, let's change the sacrecy mentality and tell ourselves, the key is this: if we openly let it go, it will return to us freely. All right, guys. All right, we move on to to Aquarius and Aquarius rising. Sometimes the biggest shifts that can happen, Aquas, are the ones that happen when no one else notices. It's not about how your appearance, your job, it's not about how your appearance, your job, your home, or any other outward change that people can comment on. It's not about that. This is happening in your first house, and it's all about you. It's coming and it's asking you to release fears and what inhibits you from living the life that is purely and all that is your own. being authentic to what living life is for you. What it can show you is that often when you have a big external shift, it can help you to solidify the parts of you that are fundamentally you, and can magnify areas where we need additional support or self-acceptance, Aquarius, sun, moons, and risings. Because if you gain or lose weight, if you get promoted or let go of a job, if you live in your hometown or move across the world, the person you are is coming with you. When those changes take place, you don't leave a version of yourself there. I have dealt with my Aquarius clients, Lord knows I have. And there is this huge thing. Well, if I just won the lottery, or if I just had the right man, or if I just, why? What is this idea that if those circumstances changes, you're still going to be the exact same person that you are? I've had Aquarian clients tell me that they've looked at a person and was intimidated because what this person looked like they had on the outside kind of triggered some insecurity, because it's this what you think about that person. Stop getting caught up with the actual picture that these people, places, or things are showing you on social media, in the fantasy, in the Zaza. The bottom line is that if you are fearful about what is inhibiting you from living the life that you want to live, those things are not going to change that notion just because you won the lottery, just because you moved to the town that you wanted to, just because your kitchen is bigger. If you are fundamentally on the inside not living in your own truth, you could go to Timbuktu and get a mansion and be a millionaire. You're still going to have that fear within you. So remember, the person who is coming with you, the person you are is coming with you. So work from the inside out. This one has your name on it, and it's hitting you in your first house. So I'm going to send you an extra big hug of support because it's hitting you in your first house. All right. It doesn't matter about how you look. It doesn't matter if you got the dream job or the dream home. It doesn't matter if your boobs are bigger. It doesn't matter if your butt is bigger. It doesn't matter if you lose your gut. It doesn't matter about the stuff that people comment on. All that matters is that you're living and walking in magnifying your energy and your truth. Okay. And finally, Pisces and Pisces rising. Pisces, you are about vibes and reading the energy in the room. But this full moon is in your 12th house, sort of like Virgo, because it's hitting them, and probably, no. It's hitting Virgos and their 6th house is hitting you in your 12th house. And these are houses that you actually rule, okay? The stars are asking you if you are sidestepping two-way conversation and shortchanging not only the other person, you're shortchanging yourself in the process, okay? You need to get out of the mindset that you need to avoid uncomfortable conversations. This August full moon is going to ask you to do something that initially is going to make you feel uncomfortable, as you came by this skill honestly. But for example, reading into the micro gestures of another's body language and making your own interpretations could have had you going through a mental and emotional loops longer than the situation required. For example, I know so many Pisces that want to say something, but they read the person and they read the person wrong. You are extremely intuitive, but you get in your own way, my little fishes. What ends up happening is that you want to say something to somebody, but you look for, if it's text message, I don't like the way this person said that. If it's face to face, you watch body language and you're paying attention. Now, as a Cancer sun, I'm telling you that is valuable. Yes, but it should not stop you from your truth. Okay? Say what you have to say and have those uncomfortable conversations. Instead, let go of fears of rejection. I know that you guys don't like being rejected, but let me tell you something. Are you also thinking about the rejection that your actions of not saying something caused the situation? So if you're in a situation with someone and you're not speaking your truth because you don't want to be rejected, did it ever occur to you guys that by you not speaking your truth, the other person may feel rejected? Think about that. Let go of those fears of rejection or what the other person might say and allow them to actually say it, because you don't know what the hell they're going to say. Their words will reveal a lot and solve your sense of alienation that you have had to figure it all out in your head. It is not your responsibility to figure it out in your head. Okay? It is not your responsibility, again, to figure it out, what someone else is thinking in your damn head. It is their responsibility as a mature, well-rounded adult to let you know how they feel, as it is equally yours to them. All right, guys, thank you so much. This has been the verbal version of this. I am going to be coming to you with the actual video version of it. And now I'm going to talk about the actual, really quickly, the card deck that I'm pulling for this full moon in Aquarius. And we're going to be using the Quantum Oracle. And I want to just give you a little bit about the Quantum Oracle, so when you get your card, you will know exactly what everything is. And I have to say it now because I don't want to say it inside of the video. So I do apologize. So the suits in this deck are divided into 7 suits, which have 8 cards. If I can talk from a number perspective, I cannot. 8 represents prosperity and achievement from a numerologically standpoint. Okay. The 7th, the cycle suit has 5 rather than 8 cards because there are 5 natural cycles represented through all of the systems. These systems include nature, economy, life, and the universe. So again, is divided into 7 suits, which have 8 cards. Okay. And the number 8, of course, represents prosperity and achievement. The 7th, which is the cycle suit, has 5 rather than 8. Because there are 5 natural cycles represented through all systems. Those systems are nature, economy, life, and the universe. Consciousness, energy, and intention. These 3 suits focus on the universal laws and energetic patterns. They portray potential outcomes based on how your personal, how you resonate with each law. The people, events, and spirits. These 3 suits refer to outside influences, guys, experiences and outcomes in your life. And the cycle suit represents the various energetic cycles that you may be experiencing within the situations that you may be inquiring about. Okay. So there is the consciousness suit, the energy suit, the intention suit, the people suit, the event suit, the spirit suit, the cycle suit. Okay. Remember, these cards are designed to help you become aware of your energy and consciousness patterns in order to create the wonderful destiny you deserve and desire. Okay. So just to give you a quick recap, the consciousness suits is the physical and the energetic worlds in your own life, because consciousness creates reality. Okay. The energy suits is the vibrations of your emotions, thoughts, and choices that you project out into the universe, and it magnetize people in situations of like resonance. Okay. The intention suit is the third personal power, that, along with the consciousness and energy, can help you direct your own destiny. The people suit, the suit represents the particular people who are present in and coming into your life. The event suit, although most cards in the deck predict many types of events, this suit focuses on the specific upcoming and personal experiences. The spirit suit, This suit may seem more abstract in nature. However, it explores important powers and entities that have a significant impact on your present experience and your future destiny. The cycle suit is the final suit, and this reveals the 5 natural cycles that exist both within the universe and within each individual's life. Remember that I told you in the beginning, which is nature, the economy, life, and the universe. All right, guys, it has been a pleasure. This is going to conclude the audio version of this recording. Happy full moon in Aquarius. There's going to be, again, major shifts. And when you see me again, I will be referencing this particular audio in the description box. It will be all ready for you to go. I'm probably going to upload it on Marvelous Enlightenment, and I'm going to refer you back to it. And what you will actually see will be your pool for every single zodiac sign, and those particular cards are already pulled, and I look forward to seeing you in your specific readings. Bye, guys.